Steve Stone is in town as a broadcaster with White Sox television. Of course, he set the Orioles franchise record with 25 wins and winning the Cy Young Award in 1980. And Rick spoke with his former teammate about this unique situation today, these two teams playing in an empty stadium.
If you think back to your career, what you had was you were concentrating on your pitcher, getting him through the performance. I think the same thing's going to happen here. Although they like to have people in the stands cheering for them, or in the case of being on the road, booing them on occasion, you still have a job to do. And good pitchers, Jeff Samardzija is one of those, Ubaldo Jimenez is a pretty good one, they're going to go out there and they're going to do the best they can. The hitters have an intense at-bat every time out. I don't think it's going to affect the players at all.
On a more historic note, I actually got to be part of it. You came to the Orioles. You won more games than any pitcher in the history of the Baltimore Orioles. 25 wins, and I got to be part of that. It was a special time.
Well, please don't tell Jim Palmer, because I believe that he'll be very bitter about that. But if we can keep that from him, I can still be friends with him. But it was a great year, certainly. I had a wonderful time with the Orioles. You were a big part of it, because one of the things you told me right away, which was especially important for a curveball pitcher, is give me your best curveball, even with a man at third base, because you cannot throw it by me unless you throw it over my head, which for a breaking ball pitcher who threw a lot of pitches in the dirt was comforting. I think all pitchers would like to think that of their catchers. You were one of the few who ever articulated it to me.
You know, it wasn't just the curveball that was so special, even though I could call it with my eyes closed and you could lay it in my glove. But everything seemed to come together for you that year. The defense played well behind you. You could throw the fastball down on the outside corner, the changeup. You just seemed to have it all together. Everything was perfect for you.
I think you hope in your life that you get with a team that's a great team at your physical prime, and everything does come together. And the Orioles that year were a great team. Now, the year before, we won 102 games and went to the World Series. Unfortunately, it's the We Are Family Pirates. They rained on the parade. But that next year, we won 100 games. And that team was sound fundamentally. Earl was at the top of his game. I think the players really played together. And the players realized that we were going to go out there every day, and that other team was going to make a mistake before we did. It was great to be a part of it. It was a wonderful tradition. And I think that Baltimore is getting back there again. I don't think it'll ever be quite the same, but it's getting a lot better than it was. But those teams were special.
This ball club now is under the management of Buck Showalter, who has really turned this organization around again. Your thoughts about this team and the direction they're moving in right now?
First of all, I think Buck Showalter is the best manager he's ever been wherever he's gone. And I think it has to do with handling young players. I think if you think back to what players were, I don't believe you can handle them the same, and I think Buck has changed a bit. Not that he's mellowed very much. I still think he's a wonderful manager. But I look at the ball club, and I look at the talent of Adam Jones. He's just magnificent. I mean, there's nothing that he can't do. I look at this organization, and I know they're not spending the kind of money that other teams do. So you have to let Andrew Miller go. You have to make changes that you might not want to make. And with that, you know, attendance being down or whatever it is at this point, there's some teams that are major market teams. The Los Angeles Dodgers can go out, spend as much money as they wanted to, tie up as many players as they want to, make any trade they can. Other organizations can't do that, so they have to be more creative. And I think that's what's happening here with Showalter and Duquette. I think they have to be more creative. I like the combination of their brain power. I think this organization is headed in the right direction. And the division is down. You know, the American League East used to be the toughest division in baseball, bar none. When you and I played in it, there were some teams who could absolutely tear your head off every day. That's not the case anymore. It's for a number of different reasons. And I think it doesn't take that many strides to be right in contention. I know you guys would have loved to sign Nelson Cruz. Again, a financial situation, you just couldn't do it. Things have changed a bit. You have to be better in the front office, better in management than you ever were before if you're not going to have unlimited funds to spend.